Hi, Aries. Welcome back to Moonveil Tarot. And if you're new here, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, let's get into your reading, Aries. Two things happened while you weren't paying attention. Someone who needs you just realized what it costs to be without you. And someone who was working against you just ran out of road. And both are happening right now at the same time. The stressed person is feeling your absence in their body, in their life, in every moment they reach for what you gave them and it isn't there. And the plotter is sitting with a plan that didn't land because the universe looked at what they were building against you and said no. These two things happening together are not a coincidence. This is what it looks like when someone is protected and when their time has come, and that someone is you. And drop a comment right now and say, I claim this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, first oracle card. The person who has been stressed without you is starting to understand what you actually were to them. Because here is what happens when someone loses something they undervalued. At first, they think they're fine, maybe even relieved, and then slowly, in the quiet moments, in the moments when something happens that they would have shared with you, in the moments when they need what you specifically provided, the understanding arrives, and the understanding has weight to it. It's not pleasant to understand what you lost after you've lost it. And the stress building in them is that understanding accumulating, not stress from their circumstances being hard, stress from the specific gap that exists in their life where you used to be. And gaps of that kind don't fill easily because you can't replace someone specific with something general. And what they're learning in the stress is that you were more specific than they understood when they had you. And I also want to say, their stress is not your problem to solve. The stress is theirs. They created the situation that produced it. And the cards are not showing you this because you owe them relief. The cards are showing you this because you deserve to know the real cost of what happened, which is that the person who thought they were fine without you is not fine without you. And knowing that puts the power exactly where it belongs. Okay, second oracle card. The plotter didn't account for how protected you are, and that's why the plan failed, because every scheme has a fatal flaw. And the fatal flaw in the plot against you was you. Specifically, what the person plotting didn't fully account for is the protection you carry, and the protection is real. It's in your energy. It's in the people who are genuinely for you. It's in the specific quality of someone who has the universe on their side, not because they never face opposition, but because the opposition never manages to stick. And the plotter built something against you without realizing that what they were building against had that quality. And what you build against protected things doesn't land, it returns. And where it returns to is the person who built it. Okay, third oracle card. Both situations are showing you the same thing. What happens when people underestimate you? And this oracle card is tying both threads of the reading together. Because the person stressed without you underestimated you, they underestimated what you bring, what you provide, what the quality of your presence actually costs when it's gone. And the plotter underestimated you. They underestimated your protection, your resilience, the specific quality of someone who doesn't break the way the scheme required you to break. And both of them are now experiencing the consequence of that underestimation. And the consequence is the stressor realizes what they lost and feels the cost of it. And the plotter hits the wall of your protection and watches the plan collapse. And both consequences are the universe's very specific response to underestimating you. Okay, fourth oracle card. The failed plot is exposing the plotter to people who didn't know what they were doing. And this is the part that changes the landscape going forward. Because when a plot fails, when someone tries to work against another person and it doesn't work, the failing is often visible. And visible failure of a scheme exposes the scheme. And the exposer doesn't just reveal that the plan didn't work. It reveals that the plan existed, and people in your world who didn't know this person was working against you are starting to see what was happening. And seeing it changes how they understand that person. And the changed understanding travels. And what was operating against you in the dark is becoming visible in the light. And light is the end of every scheme. And I also want to name the exposure isn't because you engineered it. You didn't have to. The failing of the plot is its own exposure, and the most thorough exposure is always the one that happens naturally, without the person who was harmed having to point to it, because natural exposure has no argument against it. No, this is just their perspective. No one side of the story. Just what happened, visible to everyone who was watching. Okay, fifth oracle card. Your energy is rising now that what was working against you isn't working anymore. And this one is just good news. Because here's what happens when something that was working against you stops working. You feel it. Maybe you couldn't name what was dragging before. Maybe you just felt slightly off or slightly like things weren't moving as fast as they should. And now whatever that was, the scheme, the plotting energy, the specific negativity someone was aiming at you has hit a wall. And the hitting of the wall is a clearing. And clearings produce a rise in energy, a specific quality of things moving more smoothly, of the friction that was there before being gone. And your guides are confirming that the rising you've been or are about to feel is directly connected to the failing of the plan that was trying to keep you stuck. The Justice card, the Tower, the Moon reversed, the Sun, the Empress, the Six of Wands, the Star. Okay, the Justice card, and Justice is here, and it is so on point for this reading because Justice is not about revenge. I want to say that clearly. The Justice card is about balance, about the universe correcting what was thrown off. And what was thrown off is this. Someone tried to work against you, and someone else took you for granted, and both of those things created an imbalance. And the Justice card is the balance being restored, not dramatically, not with punishment for its own sake, just the accurate outcome landing. The person who plotted experiencing the failure of the plot, the person who undervalued you experiencing the stress of your absence. And those two outcomes being exactly proportional to exactly what was done. And the Justice card also carries something for you personally, because justice arriving means the things that were done against you are being addressed. Not by you having to fight for it, not by you having to prove anything or argue your case or make sure the right people know the right things. Just the universe correcting itself. And justice that comes from the universe correcting itself is the cleanest kind because it arrives without your energy on it, and it sticks in a way that fought for justice sometimes doesn't. And the Tower is for the plotter, specifically for the plotter. Because the Tower is the collapse of something that was built on unstable ground. And what was the scheme built on? on false information, on negative energy, on the specific unstable foundation of something designed to harm someone who is protected. And the tower doesn't warn you before it falls. It just falls. And the falling of the scheme, not slowly eroding, collapsing, is the tower arriving for the person who built it. And what collapses with the scheme is their position, their credibility, their ability to keep operating the way they were operating. And the tower falling on the plotter is not something you had to arrange. The tower arrives for what deserves it on its own timeline. And it has arrived. And the moon reversed, and this is the mechanism of everything. Because the moon reversed is the hidden things surfacing. And what has been hidden is the plotting, the scheme, the specific things that were being done or said or arranged against you in spaces you weren't present for. And the reversed quality is the surfacing, the hidden things becoming visible, not because you went looking for them, because the failing of the plot required them to surface. And failed plans always surface, because the failure is visible, and visible failure shows the plan that failed. And the plan that failed shows the person who made it. And the person who made it is now known in a way they were not known before. And the sun, and yes, the sun is here for you. In the middle of all of this, the person stressed without you, the plotter's scheme collapsing, the justice arriving, the tower falling on what deserved it, the sun is your card. Because while all of that is happening on their end, you are in the sun, not fighting, not managing the drama, not using your energy to address what people were doing against you, just in the sun, in your life, doing what you do. And the sun in this position is the universe showing you your job right now is to be in the sun, and being in the sun while the justice arrives and the tower falls for the people working against you is the most powerful thing you can do. And the Empress is you, and the Empress is whole, not diminished by what someone tried to do to her, not smaller because of the scheme that was running against her, not less than she was before someone decided she needed to be taken down, full, complete, in possession of everything she was in possession of before anyone decided to scheme. And the Empress showing up here is the universe making a specific point. What the plotter tried to do didn't work because what they were working against doesn't diminish when someone tries to diminish it. It just stays what it is. And what the Empress is too complete to be made smaller by someone else's scheming. And the Six of Wands. And yes, the Six of Wands is a win, a public, visible, recognizable win. And the Six of Wands here is showing you that what comes after the scheme fails and the justice arrives and the sun is in your life is a visible win for you. Not a private, I know things are better feeling. A visible something going right. And the visibility of it matters because the scheme was visible. Visible to the people who knew about it. Visible in whatever damage it attempted. And the win that follows it is visible too. And visible wins after failed schemes tell a complete story to everyone who was watching. And the star is the hope that was maintained through all of this. Because at some point, maybe recently, maybe for a while, you've been carrying something. The weight of knowing something was off, of feeling the effects of what was being worked against you, even if you couldn't fully name it. Of maintaining hope that things would shift even when the shifting felt slow. And the star is the universe confirming the hope was right. The shifting is happening. The scheme has failed. The person without you is feeling the cost. And the hope you carried through the time it took to get here was always pointing at something real. Okay, tea leaf cards, 6 of them. First tea leaf card, the stressed person reaching out or about to because they've hit the wall of your absence, because the stress has been building in them, and stressed people make moves. And the move they're about to make is toward you, not necessarily in a clean or direct way. People who are stressed and proud don't always reach out cleanly. It might be a casual message, a reason to be in contact that gives them cover, a showing up somewhere you both are. But the impulse behind it is the stress, the specific experience of someone who hit the wall of what life looks like without you and decided they couldn't keep hitting it. And your guides are not telling you what to do with the reaching out. That's entirely yours. They're just telling you it's coming, so you know exactly what's behind it when it does. Next tea leaf card, the plotter and the specific moment their plan ran into the wall. And your guides are showing you a specific moment. The moment the scheme hit the thing it couldn't get around. And that thing was you. Your protection, your energy, the specific quality of someone who doesn't go down the way the plan required you to go down. And the hitting of the wall, the moment the scheme encountered something it couldn't overcome, produced a specific reaction in the plotter. Because when plans fail, especially plans that required significant investment of energy and intention, the person who made them has to reckon with the failure. And the reckoning is happening, and it is not comfortable. And the discomfort is the direct consequence of what they tried to do to you. Next tea leaf card. People in your world figuring out what was happening and the picture changing for them because the exposure the 4th oracle card described is landing in real conversations now. People who know you, people who are in the shared spaces of your life, are starting to put things together. The things they heard, the things they observed, the moments that seemed slightly off, that they're now understanding differently. And the putting together produces a picture, and the picture shows the plotter for what they actually are and were doing. And pictures like that, once they form in someone's mind, don't unform. And the picture forming for the people in your world is the social consequence of the scheme failing, landing in the landscape around you. Next tea leaf card. Your energy has been clearer recently, and that clarity is the scheme's weight lifting. And this one is about something you may already be feeling. Because when something negative is running against you, even when you can't fully name it, it has weight, a drag, things feeling slightly harder than they should, slightly more stuck, slightly like you're moving through something invisible. And the scheme running against you had that quality. And the scheme failing has a specific opposite quality. A lightening, things moving more smoothly. The drag lifting, the friction that was there before being gone. And if you felt any version of that recently, things feeling clearer, moving more easily, that is the weight of the failed scheme lifting from your life as it collapses on the person who built it. Next tea leaf card, something good arriving that the plotter specifically tried to prevent. And this one I want you to receive carefully, because here's a specific quality of failed schemes. When a scheme is designed to prevent something good from happening for you, and the scheme fails, the good thing it was trying to prevent doesn't just survive the failure, It arrives, and sometimes it arrives with more force than it would have if no one had tried to stop it. As if the resistance that was working against it created a kind of pressure behind it that released when the resistance failed. And what's coming for you, the specific good thing the plot was trying to block, is on its way, and the pressure built up behind it by the scheme that tried to stop it is what makes it arrive with such force. And the last tea leaf card, you unbothered, protected, and moving forward while they deal with the consequences of what they tried to do. And your guides ended on this image because it's the complete picture of the reading. You unbothered, protected, moving forward with your life, not spending energy on the scheme or the schemer or the stressed person or what any of it means for your next move. Just in your life, in the sun, in the Empress energy, moving with the Six of Wands wind coming and the stars still burning and the justice having arrived, and them dealing with what they created, the stressed person sitting with the cost of not having you, the plotter sitting with the failure of the plan and everything the failure revealed. Two different experiences in two different places, and the difference between where you are and where they are is the whole story. Okay, final messages from your guides. 6 cards. You don't have to do anything about the scheme. It's already done. Stay focused on your life. And this is first because it is the most important instruction your guides have for you right now. Because when you find out that someone was plotting against you, or when you've known for a while and now you're finding out it failed, the instinct is to respond, to address it, to make sure the right people know what happened, to have the conversation or confront the person or manage the aftermath. And your guides are saying you don't have to do any of that because the scheme already failed. And the failure is doing its own work. And the Justice card and the Tower and the Moon reversed are all doing their work. And your energy doesn't belong to any of it. Your energy belongs to your life. And staying focused on your life, while the consequences land for them, is the move that requires the least from you and produces the most. Next, final card. The stressed person's reaching out is not automatically a reason to open the door. Decide from your power, not your compassion. And this is important because you are probably a person who leads with compassion, who feels things for people even when they've hurt you. And this stressed person reaching out, feeling the cost of not having you, might produce the compassion response. That they're struggling, maybe I should, and your guides are not telling you to be cold or closed. They're telling you to decide from your power, from the full knowing of what the situation was and what it cost you, from the Empress position of someone who understands their own value and is not obligated to relieve someone else's stress, just because that stress is the consequence of how they treated you. And deciding from your power might lead you to open the door. It might lead you to keep it closed. But whatever it leads you to, it will be the right thing because it came from you knowing your worth. Next final card. The protection around you is real and it's permanent. You are not available to be successfully plotted against. And your guides want you to carry this going forward. Because the failed scheme is not just a one-time thing. It's information about the nature of your protection. And the information is you are protected and not in a fragile, temporary way. in the permanent way of someone whose energy and quality and the forces surrounding them make successful scheming against them simply not available. And knowing you're protected at that level changes how you navigate spaces where you know not everyone is for you. Because you don't have to be afraid of the people who are against you if you know that being against you doesn't actually work. Next, final card. Trust the people who showed up for you during this. They were part of the protection. And your guides are asking you to look at who was present, because the protection around you is not only energetic, it includes people. Specific people in your world who were genuinely for you during the time the scheme was running, who were consistent, who didn't waver, who were part of the reason the scheme hit a wall. Because you had real people in your corner, and the scheme couldn't account for all of them, and those people deserve your recognition. Not formally, not dramatically, just your genuine awareness of who showed up. And your guides are asking you to invest more in those relationships going forward. Because the people who are genuinely for you are the most valuable thing in your landscape. Next, final card. Save this and drop a comment when you feel the clearing and when the something good arrives that the scheme was trying to block. Save this reading right now. Bookmark it. Share it today, because when you share, what comes back is tenfold. And when you feel the clearing, the lightness of something negative lifting, drop a comment. And when the good thing arrives that the scheme was trying to prevent, whatever that specific good thing is for you, drop a comment. Just say it arrived. Just say they failed. Because someone watching this right now can feel that something is working against them and they can't fully see it yet. And knowing that the protection holds and the scheme fails and the good arrives anyway is exactly what they need to hear. And the very last card, they've been stressed without you and the plotter failed. And both of those things say the same thing about who you are. They've been stressed without you, and the plotter failed. And both of those things say the same thing about who you are. And your guides saved this for last because it is the most complete truth the reading can offer. Because what connects both threads of this reading is you, the specific quality of who you are, the energy you carry, the irreplaceability that produces stress in someone who loses you, the protection that makes schemes against you fail. And both of those things are not about circumstance or luck or timing. They are about what you are. And what you are is someone whose absence costs the people who lose it, and someone whose presence is protected by something larger than any scheme that tries to work against it. And both of those things, the costing and the protection, are permanent qualities of who you are. Not things that go away when the season changes, just who you are. And who you are is what this entire reading just confirmed. Okay, to bring this home, they've been stressed without you, and someone who was plotting against you failed. And the cards showed us everything about both. The oracle cards showed us that the stressed person is starting to understand what you actually were to them, and that their stress is the cost of losing your energy, not your problem to solve. That the plotter didn't account for how protected you are, and that's why it failed. That both situations show the same thing, what happens when people underestimate you. That the failed plot is exposing the plotter to people who didn't know what they were doing. And that your energy is rising now, that what was working against you has stopped working. The Justice card confirmed the balance being restored, accurately and proportionally for both people. The Tower confirmed the collapse of the scheme and everything built with it. The Moon reversed confirmed the hidden things surfacing and the scheme becoming visible. The sun confirmed your card in all of this, in your life, unbothered, not spending energy on what they created. The Empress confirmed you are complete and undiminished by what they tried to do. The Six of Wands confirmed the visible win coming. And the Star confirmed the hope you carried was always pointing at something real. And the tea leaves showed the full picture. The stressed person making their move toward you. The specific moment the scheme hit the wall of your protection. People in your world putting the picture together. The clearing you've been feeling as the scheme's weight lifts. The good thing arriving that the scheme was trying to block, and you unbothered and protected and moving forward while they deal with the consequences of what they tried to do. You don't have to do anything about this scheme. It's already done. Decide about the stressed person's reaching out from your power, not your compassion. The protection around you is permanent and real. Trust the people who showed up during this. They were part of it. All of it confirming they've been stressed without you. The plotter failed. And both of those things say the same thing about who you are. Claim this, loves. Drop a comment and say, I claim this, and I am protected, and what works against me fails, and I stay in my life because every word of that is true. Save this, share it today, and drop a comment when you feel the clearing. We want to know. If this resonated, please give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment, and tell me what hit hardest. And if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Take care of yourself. Bye, loves.